This is a message for Mrs. Jasmine Crockett. This is a message for Mrs. Jasmine Crockett. This is a message. Look, I'm not going to hold you. I had some time to sleep on what I was thinking. As I did a live early on this morning, which, by the way, thank you. And and if I haven't thanked anyone, if I haven't done my due diligence as a human being for certain individuals, you know who you are. I just want to say, listen, I'm doing the best that I can because in the real world, as you know, I got things to do. And doing my job, being on my feet for damn near 100 hours, that's at my age, that's not easy to do. I have suffered pain beyond the same pain I was suffered ever since I was 13. But it's like one of those chronic pains. But if you don't understand that, you don't want to understand it, cool, fine, whatever. I'm not gonna hold you. For those certain individuals that think that I'm not paying too much attention to them, I'm good. I'm good. We'll just settle on the matter. Because I'm not going to get myself mentally stressed out over any and everyone. I am a human being just like the next person. Male, female, doesn't matter who it is. I work my ass off to help feed my family. And I'm a little bit behind on certain things, but it'll get cleared up in due time. And I thank God that I have my in-laws over here, and they're totally they have their own place. We don't live too far away from them. We good. So when they help, it helped me. It totally helped me. So my in-laws are here. We good. Oh, I'm good, Victoria. I'm super good. I am super good. It's just that I just need to clear the air on certain things. Now, I am internally grateful for the subs. I am totally grateful. Without certain people that I already shouted out before in a certain video, which would be Mahogany, Lisa, and Barb, I, um, I already shouted them out. I'll shout them out again. All three of you inspired me to do something else. All right. But for one thing, you know what, hun? Yeah. For one thing, hun, again, I'm a human being. You can talk to me. You can talk to me and see what's up. Um, I'm not the ones in the previous past that I tried to talk to and they shut me out and treat me like a piece of shit. I'm not one of those ones. If we have a specific relationship with one another, and I'll get to Jasmine in a minute. If we have a specific relationship with one another. And if there's a problem, talk to me. I'm good. I'm good. I can take whatever it is whatever it is you want to throw at me. I'll take, as long as you don't punch me in the face or call me a punk. I don't do that punk shit. All right. With that being said, Jasmine, you ain't family, so I ain't worried about you. Jasmine, holy shit, that type of party, huh? Jasmine, okay, seriously now. I had went live earlier ago stating, uh, telling the truth about how these people come and what about how these people, make up all sorts of video clips. They clip the wrong type of clip, but they spin it in a way that they want to spin it. We went through all that. We went through the whole Israel thing, how we debunked all that. It's just conservatives who hate Jasmine Crockett. There's certain ones, and I get it and I understand it. Fucking, we don't care. Here's the thing: I went to sleep because I was very tired, and I woke up thinking, "All right, dude, if you have a problem with the smoke alarm, put some money in my chat box so I can get this whole smoke alarm thing. I just put a new battery in there. I don't know what you're hearing. I don't hear shit. But anyway, so I looked and I had an epiphany. What can this woman do to appease not only Americans because she's a politician, she's going to appease Americans, but what can she do to appease black folks? What can this woman do? And she is a very gorgeous woman, powerful, intelligent, all that. I said all that. But it's time to have a conversation. It's time to have a real conversation because with the youth coming behind you, they are looking at other candidates, including you. And you going to Joy Reid and you going to Roly Poly Martin, which I cannot stand that guy. He's like one of those uncles you don't want to come to the house. What are you doing here? What are you doing? So like, no, get out of here, go. You going to Roland Martin and you doing all this and you doing that. That's not going to inspire the youth. That's not going to inspire the youngings coming up behind you looking for answers. I mean, you have on this, as I'm reading it, fighting for affordability. For the first time in our nation's history, that our generation of Americans are worse off than our parents. I don't have to tell you about their I don't have to tell you about their pain inflicted by Trump's disastrous economy policies because you feel it's affecting every single it's affecting every single day. Every time you go to the grocery store, the gas pump and the pharmacy, you feel the effects. Okay, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And he hasn't scrolled, so I can't read the rest. I'll just read a little bit. I will work day and night to fight. This is her talking. I will work day and night to fight for you and your loved ones to have your basic needs met. And again, I need to see the rest. Let's see. Try to scroll. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. No, it's not scrolling. So basically, she talks about the minimum wage. She talks about, health care, affordable health care. Who said something similar to all that what she just stated? Who said that? Wasn't that Barack who said that? Wasn't that Barack in his first term said those very same things? But we haven't learned our lesson, have we? We haven't learned our lessons as independents. We haven't learned our lessons as black people. It's going to take more than bumping up the minimum wage and affordable health care to get black people where they need to be. And I hate to say this, but you don't sound grassroots. Now, I gave you credibility with the other stuff, and I lay weights to all the other nonsensical crap, the LBGTQ, HIV community, and what was the other one? The I can't even think. The immigration reform. Listen, bump all that. What are your plans for black people? Because serves me correct, you are that too. And serves me correct, you can be just as enjoyable as Barack was, but at the same damn time, you can be just as corrupted. And I don't know if Barack was a corrupt. I don't know that for certain. But I want to say you are a better fit, you are a better choice than what we got right now. But in order for people to trust you, in order for people to go to the polls and say, why should I vote for you? You got to come with some insurances, huh? You got to come up with some pretty damn insurances. And you going to, like I said, Joy Reid, Roland Martin, and I would say top tier, well, I don't want to say worst of all, I'm going to be respectful. Don Lemon? Really? Don Lemon? Okay. We're gonna go to the old media. We're gonna go to the old media for that. I'm going off on a limb here and supporting you with all that I have. But I'm gonna have to tell you, sis, our patience is like a jacket. It's wearing thin. And we would rather, and this is the reason why I didn't vote for Kamala Harris, because all that BS that she said about, I'm not gonna do just anything for black people. No, that did it for me. That fucking did it for me. And everybody was like, she's black, and listen, the what was that she put out the bag? No, that was Hillary Clinton. I'm sorry, that was Hillary when she put out the tobacco sauce or the hot sauce or whatever. talking about she did, I dig rap music, I dig Snoop Dogg. No, those days are over. 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 And yes, I was with you when Marjorie Taylor Greene dished you, right? Bad, blonde, big bush, big whatever. Whatever. I get it. I get it. And I'm going to continue to do my job as a supporter of you because those specific individuals, or one individual, put me up on game about Jasmine Crockett. And I stuck with it, and I stuck with it, and I said, hey, this could be it. But something wheeled me back to reality around this time. And I said, wake your ass up. I'm telling myself, wake your brain up, bruh. What is her plan for Black America? Because quite considerate, it's not like we're asking for too much. I mean, we're just asking for generational wealth. I mean, we're just asking for 40 acres and a mule and $100. That's all we're asking for. Because as far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump, he's making the wealth wealthy by stealing, by conjuring up threats, by being prejudiced. He's already racist. White folks are racist. The simple fact of the matter is, he's making you look foolish. If any of the Republican parties say, oh, she's going to be great, and they're doing one of these numbers here, that means they have you where they want you. If you want more and more of the Black vote, you got to come up with a particular policy for these people. And I'm not talking, bringing rap people along and all this other stuff. We don't. I love you, Snoop. Stay over there. I love you, Nelly. Stay over there. Ashanti, love you, sis. Stay over there. I don't. Busta Rhymes, stay over there. Master P is the only person that can talk because he is a businessman. This is this is what I'm talking about. What are you particularly going to do for Black people? And I would say this, and I was asked this straight to your face. What are your plans for Black America? Which I don't even know why I said the word Black, but we're gonna just leave that there for right now. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. You have a lot to learn. Especially this ignorant ass fool that just said in the comments, saying America is racist is the most ignorant thing an American can say. First of all, stupid, learn your history. That's all I'm going to say to you. Learn your fucking history. 0% in intra-business. That's where it starts. See, thank you for mentioning that, by the way. Haven't you noticed that all these foreigners who come over here get grants, right? Specifically, grants alone. And I can't tell you the numbers. They can get anywhere from like tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars of loans when they come over here. What do Black people get? Loans. What's up with this $50 loan type of shit? We're going to you purchase a house and we'll promise you'll get a 50-year loan or some shit. just don't give up on reparations. Here's the thing, and I'm for reparations. Don't get me wrong. They're not going to give it to you. Simple as that. They're not going to give it to you. They're not going to give it to you. They'll give it to everybody else. Trust me and believe. Yvette Cornell continues to try and continues to fail. And I have more respect for Yvette Cornell than anything. ADOS, I have more respect for ADOS than I do FBA right now. Because all you're doing is fighting with each other. I don't know the brother who owned. I'm off track. I'm talking to Jasmine right now. And the fact of the matter is, if you do get reparations, if you get like say 600,000 per capita per family, all you're gonna do is smoke it up, and all you're gonna do is send it right back to the white man. That's all you're gonna do with it. And I would prefer the land. I would prefer the land that our ancestors have fought, bled, and died for this particular country to strive the way it's been striving. I need land, not cash payments. If it was going to be cash payments, give it to the youth. Give it to our sons so they can do something constructive with it. And at this particular time, you should know constructively what to do. Forget college, go to a trade. You should be able to build stuff for your fucking self. You should be able to go to a steel mill and work that shit. You should be able to do something that will benefit not only you but your family. No one's gonna. You're damn right, because nobody's gonna give us nothing. And yes, we are for you. We are for you, but you have to. You have to leave America. We built America, bitch. Anyway, where was I at before I got distracted by this asshole? Listen, we love you. We respect you. But again, give us something tangible. Give us something that we could hold our heads up with. It's good that you spoke with it's good that you're speaking with, continue to speak with the youth, but don't send them a whole bunch of bullshit. That's all we're saying. That is all we're saying. Look at the conditions that Baltimore is in. Look at the condition that Detroit's in. Look into the condition. They're just sending China people over there. China is, or Asian people, I should say, Asian people are building up the ass in America because white folks are giving them the tools they need to do that. Look at Chinatown. Think about it. If you ever been to Vegas and if you drove past Chinatown, you can see the structural things that are all across Chinatown and Koreatown. You go down Spring Mountain, come down all the way Spring Mountain in Vegas. That's all you're going to see. I will travel in my car and I will take you all the way down and you can see the structure going on. We have no infrastructure at all. We got a couple of mom and pop stores here, over there. I mean, we got to drive like a 30 to 45 minute drive. A 30 to 45 minute drive, and it makes no sense when all the infrastructure is connected together. And say, if they act up, they can leave. No, So what are you willing to do for us? And I promise you, we will go to the polls kicking and screaming. As exactly. I'll have to say, sir or ma'am, you're gonna have to do for yourself. Because again, these are politicians. These are politicians. Politicians ain't gonna do shit for you. You're gonna have to do some shit for yourself. And then once you come down and you see our infrastructure, you're gonna want a piece of that. And then we're gonna look at you and you say, what have you done? Specifically, you made all the noise about Donald Trump. We get it. Donald Trump's an ass. Donald Trump is this. Donald Trump is that. Whoopty 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 whoop. We all know that. He's the devil. But guess what? You are doing no different, sis. You are doing no different from what Kamala did, what Hillary did, not Hillary, Bill Clinton did, what his predecessors and his predecessors, what they did. You're doing no different. And again, I'm I'm doing this because this I'm trying to draw a line in the sand. I said, if this didn't work for Barack, what makes you think this is going to work for Jasmine? Jasmine needs to hear the cries of the people, the cries of the youth, the youth, the youth. Because haven't you noticed lately in the House, in Congress, they're getting younger and younger and younger. Have you ever noticed that? You endorsed some. Forgive me if I don't know the cat's name, but he's like in his 30s, his younger 30s. That's what I'm talking about. Baby, you need to read the room. You need to read the room. You need to read the room. It's not just about politics, it's about policies. What particular policies? Imagine Whoopi for president, you stupid. Imagine jumping Jack Flash for president. I can't do that. I love Whoopi. Even though she, I don't know. I don't know. I don't follow that shit. But anyway, this is going to be a long road. We are still in December. It's December 14th. March is not that far away. November is the it factor. November is the it factor. Now I'm gonna play a little bit and of this one little video, and then because I didn't I said what I needed to say. And again, if you want more voters, because let's face it, Hakeem Jeffries, he would have endorsed you by now. Bernie Sanders, with his old ancient self, would have endorsed you by now. Am I right or am I wrong? They would have endorsed you by now. And I don't know what type of tricks you have up your sleeve, but come on, sis, this This is reality. Start with the youth, because the elderly folks, they're going to support you, but they're going to be dead and gone by the time. Some of them are going to be dead and gone, and I'm not disrespecting the youth, or I'm not disrespecting the elderly. Excuse me. But it's about time that you start paying more attention to the youth and what they're saying, because they are looking for vote. They're looking to cast their vote on somebody who is going to listen to what they have to say. But then again, they're going to be duped as well, because it's just all about these white politicians, the white folks coming up the rear, or you got Mexican, you got Hispanics coming up the rear and say what they're willing to do for you, and you turn around, they do very minimal or nothing at all. Done so far, other than be a weirdo. What can you name in the chat what Donald Trump has done for specifically black folks thus far? I'll wait. Other than being weird, what has he done? Other than telling your 14-year-old, it's like if she was old, I'd do some strange for a little piece of change to her. And it'll have Howard Stern at the end talk about your daughter's a piece of ass. What? This is what white folks get away with. This is what in this era right now. This is what the era right now. This is what they get away with. And you accept that. It's sad. It's totally sad. But I get it. We are in our last days. We are in our last days in time. This is crazy. This is crazy. I don't need to read no big beautiful bill. It ain't nothing but a new world order, son. The big beautiful bill. We read that years ago, before it came out to fruition. That we read that bullshit years ago, when they were putting certain people in concentration camps. We read that bullshit years ago. Don't come to me with no damn beautiful bill that's into law right now. Don't give me that shit. Shouts out to Big Money Court. Shouts out to Big Money Court. What's up with you, bro? So yeah, getting back to you, Mrs. Crockett. Be aware that you may have 89% of black people supporting you, but for the rest of us, not me, because I'm going out on a limb. I'm going out on a limb for you. And after this, if you turn out to be a disappointment, ain't gonna be no more. Ain't gonna be no more coming after you until you show me something tangible. Ain't gonna be no more. Because I'm gonna tell you right now that some of these people are tired. Some of these people are tired of being lied to. Some of these people are tired of being lied to, saying that they're promising you this, they're promising you that, and you just giving them pennies. And a stimulus check ain't gonna cut it. A stimulus check ain't gonna cut it, not one damn bit. You need to put some policies in place to make sure that the wealth, uh, as far, I mean, not just, it's not just minimum wage, it's not just universal health care or whatever the hell. You got to make sure these people are going to be safe, and there are laws to protect black people. You're going to have laws to protect black people as a whole, and to make sure that prejudiceness never, or racism or any type of ism, the right, the alt right, never touches us ever again. Trump has unlocked the keys to being the most unlawful person on the face of this fucking earth. He has violated the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the 14th, or First Amendment, Second Amendment, 13th, 14th, 15th, 19th, 21st, or excuse 20th, 21st, and 22nd Amendment. And talk about he's going to run his third term. You can't run your third term, sir. You can't run your third term. It's illegal. But you try to scare the people with Trump for 2028 ain't gonna happen. But I wouldn't be surprised if it did. So some of those seats better turn black blue. Like I said, you need to reach the youth. You need to reach the youth. Because if you don't, and they start looking elsewhere, it's not going to matter if it's Kamala Harris or it's not Mitt Romney, but the dude out of California. It's not going to matter that. Hell, they might just even vote the dude out of California. We're going to give you a lifeline. We are definitely going to give you a lifeline. But again, what is going to be what do you plan on doing? What are you going to do for black people? I don't want to hear about America. I don't want to hear about trans. I don't want to hear about this. I don't want to hear about that. Listen, trans are human beings, but they're not on my radar. As far as I'm concerned, they can stay in the closet, whatever they want to do. Gay people, they got reparations. They got a law in place, just like the Asians. You remember the Asian hate crime bill? What kind of crime bill do we have? What type of crime bill do we have as black folks here in America? Asians got their crime bill. The gays and the lesbos and the whoever else got their crime bill. What is it? What is it? Your constituents for us? And I'm a Pan-African, so I vouch for all people. I vouch for all who are African descendants. Whether you coming from America, you coming from Africa, Haiti, Jamaica, Britain, wherever you come from. Telling you, just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. And I'm not being mean, but facts are facts. We have suffered too damn long. We have suffered too fucking long. It is high time, because if we can't do this with you, then we might as well suffer doing it by ourselves. Straight up. It's bad enough that FBAs are screaming. That's bad enough. No. Let me start with this. Let me end with this. Let me end the conclusion with this. We're going to continue to support you. And I want the people in Texas, the city of Texas. I'm not in Texas. I'm in Nevada. I want the people in the city of Texas to support you. And of course, there are going to be some Latino females who are Latina or Hispanic or whatever that we're going to support you too. But in order for certain black males, and let's just face it, this is no different from Kamala. No different. You have mostly women supporting Kamala. Or I'm going to say that wrong. You had mostly people supporting Kamala. Now, at this time around, you're going to possibly have the same amount of black females supporting Jasmine Crockett. And if you want that money, honey, you got to put in some policies. You got to put in a few more policies in place to ensure our injustice, our safety, our 40 acres and a mule and $100. Vote blue. Listen, I vote blue or vote red. It's not going to make a difference because you know what? They're all wings of the same fowl. But you got to act like there ain't no fucking tomorrow. Because I guarantee you they're taking away the Voting Rights Act, Section 2, all those things are going to be gone. All those things are going to be gone. So you have to be that voice in the Senate because I already know what's coming next after Senate. If you get voted in, the next phase for you, and I'm not a sucker for this, you're going to want to be the next president of the United States. You're going to want to. Because after you taste Senate, it's uphill it's an uphill climb from there. And sorry for the WWF reference, but when Jey Uso won the Intercontinental belt, where was his next move? Nowhere to go but up. And he ended up capturing the World Heavyweight title. He lost it after 5 months, but hey. But I was supposed to be playing something. Hold on.
You're not going to convince any of us that we should support you when it's very clear that if you're here to just try to recycle the party line. Notice, y'all, I'm not doing some of the usual things you might expect. I'm not throwing zingers. I'm not twisting names. I'm just going straight down the middle and saying, okay, let's have a real conversation tonight. Let's have some real talk. I'm not going to use a bunch of invectives. I'm not going to mock anybody's name. I'm not going to use any little cute, nicknames. I just want to talk brass tacks. I want to talk brass tacks. You have black politicians who do not talk to the black base. You have black politicians who think they're going to parachute in. Baby, everybody already knows that you booed up and buddied up with all the washed up sorors. If you keep doing that, it just proves you learned nothing from Donald Trump's victory. It's a new day. Ignoring the grassroots is going to be a recipe for disaster. that works for your white counterparts, you can do that with them. They can get away with that. You all are going to find that to be impossible. You see, here's my issue here. You can't come to me complaining about Jamal Bowman and complaining about Cori Bush and how allegedly they were treated or whatever when the rest of you are doing no differently. Cori Bush has not reached out to the grassroots. And let me be clear, Ayanna Pressley definitely knows who the hell I am. The squad and all the rest of them, they absolutely know about the Black channel. I don't mean that as a generic statement. Oh, they are very, very well aware of the Black Authority. They're very well aware of that, as you all know. But I just want you all to be aware that, yeah, every single one of them knows. You had people reach out to Jamal Bowman. This is after he got booted out of Congress. He's been on a bunch of other internet broadcasts, Breaking Point and other places, and yet he has refused to come here. He's going and talking to white so-called liberals and white YouTubers, but he's refusing to come here. Well, why is it they would do that? Because you're going to get asked questions here that matter to the grassroots. Our questions don't really matter like that to Crystal and Cigar, certainly not Cigar. Yes, I'm saying that on purpose. So the issues that really concern us, those are not the major issues to them. Their issues are, quote, suburban. Our issues are specific. And what they don't want is for that to become a conversation. They don't want to go on the record. You see, what you all are showing, Ms. Crockett, is that the Democrat WikiLeaks is still very much valid today. When you all passed around that memo that said if anybody from quote unquote Black Lives Matter, in other words, anybody talking about a black agenda, if they come to you asking what are you going to do if they confront you with any of these Negro issues, you are to pat them on the hand. You're to tell them that you sympathize. You're to tell them you feel their pain, but you are not to make any specific promises. And you saw when a group of young people talked to Hillary Clinton, that was exactly what she did, which proved that that was the policy. That the policy is you do not give the Negroes anything. You don't give them nothing. Do not go on the record saying that you're going to do something for them. Now that tells you all that comes from the lily white supremacist top. That came from the very top. Although at the time that was Barack Obama. But we all know who controls him. Go look up the picture on the boat. So we know that this is what you all have been doing, and we just want you to be aware that the front people that they send out there, just understand a whole bunch of folks thought they were going to skate by. Otherwise, it will not be that way. You see, if you are relying, Cori Bush, if you are relying only on the dollars that you can raise in Missouri, it's already over. Jamal Bowman learned this the hard way. You're in New York State. If you're relying only on the dollars that you can raise out of New York State, meanwhile, AIPAC raises money worldwide.
Shout out to Barb. Shouts out to Lisa wherever she is. I know she's mad at me. Um, and shouts out to Mahogany. Um, my three favorite ladies. And I had to put in Brownie too, so. But hey, check this out. Again, we're not trying to be mean, but reality is reality. We suffered long enough. And it's not just in the state of Texas, it's everywhere. Everywhere we go. We suffered the same amount of bullshit ever since the Clinton administration. It's just got more fizz. Get me? You feel me? So, brothers are going to have to make a way. Now, I remember parts of the Reagan era. He came down to, I think it was Baltimore. He came down to Baltimore and everybody was on his helmet. Talking about what you gonna do for us. It's the exact same message. The exact same fucking message. So when you have a black, and there are reasons beyond reasoning why Kamala Harris didn't get in. And I told my family, they weren't gonna let her in. White supremacy is not gonna let Kamala be the face of America. Hell no. That's not in their plan. That's not in their agenda. To have her become the face, they only have Barack become the face, and I can play the auto clip. Like, there's a reason why they have Barack become the face. I had to find that one.
Up against AIPAC's global wallet, and you're relying on a little sliver of New York State, and that's the only thing you plugged into.
Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe.
So not only are you a bad politician, you are a terrible strategist and an awful at mathematics. If you think that you are going to be able to fight global money, and your only outreach is in Texas, and you think you're going to do something slick, and you're going to go talk to Joy Reid and go on MSNBC or MS Now or whatever they want to call it this week, if you think that that's going to circumvent them, you're welcome to try. Jasmine Crockett is trying to be the first one to figure out if the strategy that I told you all about a year ago. I told you all a year ago that Gavin Newsom slithering out from under his rock in California, their plan is that Trump is going to just screw up. He's going to basically do what Kamala Harris did. These are the two political parties. They just trade power every few years. That's the little agreement they got. They just swap who gets to drive the car every few years. So Trump messed up, was so badly reeking that Biden gets into office. Biden so badly reeks that Trump gets into office. Trump so badly reeks that Gavin Newsom can get into office. That's the game that they're playing. None of them give you anything better. You just end up saying, okay, this guy here stinks. Let's try the other party that failed that we got rid of before. Let's put them back behind the wheel. You don't have one bad mechanic. You got two awful individuals who don't know how to fix cars but keep telling you that they're mechanics. So going to incompetent car wrecker number one isn't going to get you any better results than incompetent car wrecker number two. But that's the game that they play. And so their strategy is we don't have to be better than the opposition. We just have to convince you that the opposition is worse than us. That's what they're doing. That's the strategy. that they don't have to change anything they're doing as Democrats. All they have, well, isn't Trump doing terrible enough? Well, that's how Trump got in office. Isn't Kamala doing terrible enough? Okay. And Jasmine Crockett is the one that they've chosen to be first to see if she can get that strategy to work. That they're not offering us one thing different or better. They won't even speak to us. Just, ain't you sick of Trump? Isn't he doing awful? I don't trust somebody that we haven't spoken to. I certainly don't trust somebody who is consciously avoiding us. And what you need to understand, ma'am, is that Kamala Harris had $1 billion, way more money than you're going to raise. How did that help her? With her absolute ineptitude at communicating to the grassroots, how did that help her out?
If this don't tell you something, Tim, I don't know what will. If this don't tell you something, and it was billions of dollars that she raised, and she lost. Change up your strategy. Or don't even come up with any other strategy that they got going on for you. Come up with your own goddamn strategy.
This idea, as I keep reminding you, that you all are going to circumvent the base, you're going to circumvent the soil, and you're going to just rely on the white party leaders and they'll take care of you. Yeah, they're going to take care of you all right. Mm-hmm. They're going to take care of you all right.
Yep.
You see, the issue here is that we don't know you. You spent more time talking to MSNBC than you have to the base, to the roots. Donald Trump was not afraid to talk to anybody, anywhere. Meanwhile, the folks who claim they want to, quote unquote, represent us, and they don't speak to us. They speak over us. They speak to other people, but they don't speak to us. So you end up relying on going to their Twitter page or some very short video snippet. And, well, didn't they say something about reparations? Didn't they say something about helping the poor? And it becomes that con job. Jamal Bowman was approached to be.
All right. This was Barack Obama, your president, and me being a voter of Barack two elections in a row, I was blinded by the fact that, yes, he's a brother. But we're going to finally do it. Yes, we can. We can do it. Sorry, I had to step away. You good. Now, like him, love him, hate him, just listen.
Bush and Bill Clinton were sent down there. George Bush and Bill Clinton were sent down there to shake hands with the black victims to comfort them in their filth. But before they could go down there, Barry Soweto, aka Barack Obama, who was in Russia at the time, was called from Russia. By the way, he was doing business for the Council of Foreign Relations, of which he and his wife are both members. Okay? And if you belong to the Council of Foreign Relations, you are only about the exploitation of Africa, period, because that's why it was established. He and his wife are members. He was called from Russia to come back to New Orleans to accompany. Now, this is 05. This is August 05. Okay? He was called back to accompany George Bush and President Clinton, the last two in Obama go to New Orleans together to shake hands. Now my question to you is, why is it that a little known black senator from Chicago, and he's not from Chicago, he moved there, we'll get into that later. But why would a little known state senator from Chicago be told to go to New Orleans with the last 2 U.S. presidents? You do the math. It's because they chose them before you knew them. But the problem is we don't think. The propaganda of the media sweeps up black people every 4 years, and we fall for the same nonsense every 4 years. So if we thought that Bill Clinton was a black president, they knew if they gave you somebody who was a half Negro, you would really lose your mind. You would really lose your mind. And by the way, Bill Clinton has been inducted in the Arkansas Black Hall of Fame. He's the first white person in history to be inducted in the Arkansas State Black Hall of Fame. Yes, he is. Show me a black person in the Jewish Hall of Fame, Italian Hall of Fame, Polish Hall of Fame, Anglo Hall of Fame, you won't find it. Arab Hall of Fame, Asian Hall of Fame, you won't find it. But when you go back to our history, be it slavery or colonialism, because not everybody's...
Oh, by the way, when they took down MLK statue, who did they replace it with? The one that's in office right now? Just saying.
Slavery. But everybody went to white supremacy. One of the chief things that we've been taught that we never got out of, and the number one goal of slavery, colonialism, white supremacy is to turn the victim into a willing accomplice in your own extermination. Turn the victim into a willing accomplice in your own extermination. I read an article the other day. They said by 2050, white people will be a minority in America. Okay? By 2050, Hispanics and Mexicans and Asians will outnumber white people. So what? They have been a minority on the planet since the beginning of existence. What did it have to do with the power differential between Africans and Europeans? Nothing. Numbers don't mean nothing unless you put them to work. They have always been a minority. But who runs the economy? Nobody but them. White males are 46% of college-age students. 46, that's less than half. But they are 96% of the CEOs, 96% of the principals, 95% of partners at the law firms. So when you look at white supremacy, it might change shape, it might change form, but it never changes substance. It never changes substance. And the problem with Obama, with black people, is that we can't look beyond the surface of his skin tone. Nobody bothered to ask who dressed him up and put him out there. Are you not aware that this man in 12 years, which makes him the fastest of all time, went from a little known state senator in a heavy black district of Chicago running for the presidency? Running for the presidency. He's been in the Senate for 3 years. He's been running for president for 2 of the 3, which means he only been doing work for 1 year. What black man you know could run for president of the United States and have only been active as a senator for a year? Why is it in 2004 the Democratic National Convention gave Barack Obama the keynote speech? He was only a state senator. State senators never give keynote addresses at the political national convention. Not even the white ones. But he did it as the state senator of Chicago. Why? Because they chose him before you knew him. And by giving him the oath for a speech, it guaranteed that he would beat Alan Keyes for the U.S. senatorial spot from Illinois, and then the rest was history. See, when Obama moved to Chicago, he tried to unseat former Black Panther Bobby Rush. Bobby Rush blew him out the water in the election. He told him he would spank him and then spanked him. In fact, he said something to the effect, who the hell does white boy think he is coming into my district? He don't know the first thing about black people. He was raised as a white man. And then he spanked him. So the Democratic Party stepped in and said, he's not going to make it if we leave it up to his own measure. So they gave him the DNC keynote. And so he didn't even have to worry about being a state senator no more, because in a few months he was running for U.S. senator. the third in history. Now, when we look at the financial backing of Obama, you see that his number one campaign contributor happens to be the only bank on Wall Street that hasn't floundered. Goldman Sachs has given Barack Obama more money than everybody else put together. Most of his contributions did not come from poor people on the street.
And when it comes to your base, not your base, but well, I can actually say your base. Who will be the person, guy or gal, who is going to support you outright to give you those things that you need? It's Dr. Umar.
It came from rich, white, old money. Rich, white, old money. Don't listen to what they tell you on CNN. CNN is owned by the corporations. You got to do the research. Why is Goldman Sachs
I'm trying to tell
the most powerful bank on Wall Street?
Like, no,
The United States chief investor abroad. Why are they putting so much money behind this half Negro? Why? Because they know that the families that run America have been eyeing Obama for the past 4 years because they see something in him that would allow them to take white supremacy to the next level. Because black people in Asia don't think no more than we do. And black people in Africa don't think no more than we do. In fact, I gave this same speech in Nigeria 3 months ago, and they looked at me like I was crazy. You got Obama maniacs in Africa too, who think that if Obama is elected president, he's going to stop the World Bank and International Monetary Fund from stepping on Africa's throat. You got black people in America, although he hasn't said one thing about us this whole 2 years, he ain't mentioned black people. But we think that he's going to change the schools, even though schools are run by the state. We think he's going to do something about prison, even though prisons are run by the state. In fact, most of what affects you on a daily basis is state sanctioned, not federal. And there's something called states' rights that evolved during the civil rights era, where the government in D.C. is told to keep their hands off civil things. But even if he could, Barack Obama isn't interested in helping black people because he don't see himself as that. Biologically,
Unfortunately, Mary, that's what runs the world. That's why people are so angst up about this whole Israel thing. Israel. Israel owns America. Because what's mostly in Israel? Jews who run who run your corporations. Look at the gas companies. Look at the gas companies. Look at the shit that you buy every day. Everything that is in, mostly everything is imprinted. If it's not imprinted in China, you are buying it from Jewish people. What do you think? Who do you think funded Hollywood? Who do you think funds Hollywood? Jews. Why haven't you got a simple story? Remember the Malcolm X movie? And I love the Malcolm X movie with Denzel Washington. But Spike Lee, who funded that movie? The Jews. You're not going to get a more accurate story on Malcolm. You're not going to get an accurate story on Martin. You're not going to get an accurate story on our history, period. Because there's always a gender involved. Tyler Perry got his money from, and now he owns like acres of land, his own studio. And congratulations to him. He came a long way. He was homeless in his car, right? So he had to do the one thing that we, don't vouch for, but he had to get his money. And you would think being a big ass man in a dress, I mean, it's comical for it was good for a while, It's very, very comical. And believe me, I loved Medea. Uh, not his movies per se, but his plays. I loved his plays. The movies were a bit much, but I support it. I support it. But then after a while, it's done. Okay, you did all you needed to do. You got the millions. It's time to get out that dress. It's time to get out the dress. He kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it. And the same storylines over and over and over and over and over and over. I quit. I said, this. I'm done with this. I am frankly done with this. And I've seen some of the corny shows. I've seen some of the corny shows. It's like, who's this being rude in another live? Stay focused, people. Stay focused. America wants to see black men in a dress. Again, if you have, in the words of Corey Holcomb, if the paper get low, the hungriness show. You gonna put on a wig and a dress for a little while, but don't let it be your MO. Don't let that fucking be your MO. Tripping, man. And listen, I love the Marty Mars. Martin did the exact same thing. Who else? Jamie Foxx did it. And I'm going on a tangent. We're getting lost in the sauce. But the fact of the matter is, you have to start defending for yourselves. You do. Raise up your capitals. And by the way, stop disrespecting women. Stop disrespecting your black women. There's absolutely nowhere. Without her, there is no you. Without me, there is no her. Without her, there is no you, black men. Without me, there is no her. I'll say it again. Without her, there is no you. Without you, there is no her. I think you need to go to my page and see my symbols. There needs to be a balance. You need to bring back balance once again. You definitely need back balance. Let me tell you.
He might be an African, but consciously, he's all European. And we fail to realize that. If you take out the fact that his father, who he never knew, was a Kenyan, you get a white man. Trained at the best school. Grew up in a middle-class neighborhood. And when you read his two autobiographies, the most Obama maniacs have.
I need to play the rest of this, but I'm glad I found it so I can listen to it.
Be on my program by other people. Jamal Bowman refused to come on. No, it's not because Jamal Bowman does not know who I am. It's specifically because he knows exactly who we are.
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Can I get a couple of bucks so I can get some coffee? Put a couple of bucks. Put a couple of bucks up there so I can give me some coffee. I want to give me a latte. Respect my coffee fund.
He didn't refuse to come here because he was unaware of us. They refused to come here because they are perfectly aware of us. We are articulate. We are knowledgeable. We are insightful. We are to the point. They saw my interview with Jill Stein. They know that we are very competent people to talk to, and they do not want to go on the record with what their real positions are, because I'm not going to let you say some fluff. I'm going to require that you be specific.
But I said on the fast.
Kamala Harris went on the Breakfast Club and unfortunately for her got specific.
Fine,
and that was the end of her black support and her political career. It died right there. Every single one of them knows it. Every single one of them saw it, and they've all been terrified to death of that repeating itself. And so they have desperately attempted to avoid that. The problem is when you come on these internet streets, you're not really going to be able to do that. Now in Cori Bush's case, she might have been a little more strident, but once again, Cori Bush wants to run for Congress again. Cori has not reached out to the soil. Cori has not reached out to the soil, and I'm just letting you know, Miss Bush, you are up against global money, ma'am. That little pipsqueak from Ferguson who beat you, he's got global money from AIPAC. They pass the hat everywhere. So you're up against AIPAC, who passes the hat globally, and your only support base is really going to be out of St. Louis? I mean, this is terrible strategy, ma'am. This is off.
I need to look up the origins of AIPACs. They're getting money from Apex. All these people are getting money for Apex. I'm just starting to now hear this. I'm just starting to now hear this shit. So I'm going to have to look up the origins of Apex. And oh, by the way, Donald Trump is trying to turn the logo into American football instead of your NFL football. I expect it and I see it coming. If it happens, it happens. It just gives me an excuse not to watch it. It just gives me an excuse not to watch it. Because number one, all your sports that black people are in don't benefit you at all. It benefits middle-class white women. How do I know? Sharon Moore from the University of Michigan was fired a couple of days ago. Duh. It's the same exact result as Mel Tucker, the former Michigan State coach. Ding! It only benefits white women. I don't know what the hell is so infatuated about these goddamn snow bunnies. Stay away from these cave bitches. Nam yo rende kyu. Okay, I'm back.
Awful strategy. You need to be all hands on deck, and yet you're not doing that. You're supposed to be all hands on deck, and you're not doing that. If you all agree that they should be all hands on deck, but that they are not, give me the cruise ship emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. We have over 2,700 people in here live in just the first 20 minutes.
Carrie, are you white or black? And I mean no disrespect. Just curious. Just curious.
But if you all agree that they should be all hands on deck, give me the cruise ship emoji in the chat room and hit the likes button for me. We got almost 3,000 people up in here, but folks are not liking the program. So apparently I got a lot of folks who are sitting up hating on the.
I don't mean no disrespect. I love my sisters. I love my sisters. I love my sisters, and sisters. I am the only child. Okay? I am the only child. I have sisters through marriage. I love my black women from the rooter to the tutor, from the dark blue purples to the lightest of the light skin. Just in case you want to know a little bit about me, I love me some black women. You will never, ever, ever catch me crossing that fence. A little public service announcement for those who don't know.
Low and Jane, why you gotta do that? We need to support her. She better than Trump, man. That's right there. Y'all need to know that. People, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask a serious question right now to all of you, to any of the Democrats or whatever.
Black Queen.
What is it
forever.
that we say here that is so objectionable?
No rice, no spice, no salsa. I can't do that shit. I can't do it. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he says all that shit. But listen, if you can't use a comb, remember the hot comb when it was, and it's mama, you burn me, old boy or girl, stop it. Stop. No mail. No mail, girl. There you go.
Why on earth would any politician refuse to speak to us? What have you heard us say, or what have we done that is just so outrageously unacceptable? What have we done? Show me anything that you want to talk about. Language, you hear what they say on Joe Rogan. You don't hear nearly the language here that you would hear on Joe Rogan, and yet you all don't have a problem talking to him, talking to Charlemagne. Okay, we are a far tamer place. We are a far more civil place than these other folks you go to. We don't talk about pornography. We don't sit up here and talk about anything illegal. We don't really talk about anything risque. So you want to talk about explicit content? That's not us. I don't use the language that Jasmine Crockett does. Jasmine Crockett has used more profane language than me. So what would be the legitimate reason for anyone to decline talking to us? We're not going to break off into a bunch of profane jokes, a bunch of pornographic humor. We don't do any of that. So what is the legitimate reason that you would not speak to us? What have we done that is so objectionable? I mean,
we'll agree to disagree. And it's not that she doesn't talk to the youth. She does talk to the youth. But the fact of the matter is, and this is partially where I agree, is that these politicians that come out the woodwork, you can name them. Kamala was one of them. Bill Clinton, so on and so forth. Barack shot down 2 individuals. If you have memory lapse, I'll remind you, 2 young black soldiers, when he was senator at the time, raised up and asked them what specifically what you gonna do for black people, and they got kicked out. He turned down his pastor and got Barry is another con. Barry Soweto is again, when you come up to black people and say this, like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna turn down. You got the nerve to come up to me after what you didn't do and saying that if you don't vote for Kamala Harris and blah 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 blah, nigga, who the hell do you think you are? We would much rather vote for your wife because your wife has more guts than you do. Sorry, not sorry. Boy, I hope my oldest cousin gets a hold of this. If she listens to this, hey, sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. What this specific? We waited till your second term. What is you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What is he gonna do this time? Just give him a chance. Give him a chance. Give him a chance. We learned our lesson. We learned our lesson after the second term, and then uh um Donald Trump came in and swooped down and said, I hate Obama and Obama's this and Obama's that. Where's the birth certificate? Where's the birth certificate? He wasn't born here in America. Where's the birth certificate? Where's the birth certificate? All right. And again, we're not being disrespectful towards Jasmine Crockett because again, I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be promoting and campaigning for you as much as I am. And I say, hey, we'll take to the streets if we have to, because this is critical. But November is a very, very long ways. March is around the corner, and I can do some early voting. But if I vote for you, if you haven't if you haven't done your due diligence to speak to the youth as much as you speak to everybody else, speaking to the youth, because remember, just to remind you, Roland Martin was talking so much bull jive about how stupid we are, well, not me, because I'm 45 years of age. He can't tell me shit. I've done videos on him back then. All right, he's a piece of shit. Of course, he tells the youth, you don't know anything, you're not knowledgeable in anything. One of them knuckleheads came up there and met him face to face, met him like this. Is like, what? Like, what? I'm here. What? Had met Roller Barton face to face, and that nigga was like, what? I gotta find that. I gotta find it. Oh, what was this name? Roland Martin disrespects a brother. I'm not sure. He disrespected a couple of brothers. One of them, you keep bringing his name up. That built his own school in Atlanta. Who was a Republican, by the way. And anybody who's a Republican and supports Trump, you are a supporter of great. Sorry. You are a supporter of great. Who tried to fight this risk? The youth. Damn, I can't even find it. Oh, it's let me see, who is this guy? King Randall. At the time, just disrespected the brother, and I respect the brother, and I respect what he's done. I respect that brother, and I respect what he has done. But the one thing you will not do, sir, The one thing you will not do is you will not disrespect me, and you will not disrespect the youth by calling us dumb and you know uneducated and unknowledgeable about politics. Fucking politics. We need, first of all, we need insurances. We need land. We need some of that land back. We definitely need some of that land back. What did Jasmine Crockett do? Nothing yet. We're just relaying a couple of messages. We're just relaying a couple of messages. That's all. She didn't do nothing wrong. But what she is doing is some things like, I'm not saying you're not on the wrong path, but you're heading towards there. I mean, you can appeal to the elderly, which is fine because we need them too. Because without them, there will be no us. But at the same time, the youth are deciding how the future is going to be shaped. Donald Trump can say, they're all gang members. They're all gang members and they're all this and they're all that. Prove him wrong. Prove him wrong. I think we have opportunities right now for the youth to be competitive by capturing these jobs with the right amount of wage, so they won't have to go look for a second or third job or something like that. But then again, the United States of America, they just need to start over. They just need to start over because we are so many $1 trillion in debt that it doesn't even make no sense. It doesn't even make no sense. Smash it. Let me continue this stuff. Go ahead and say it. Come here. Go ahead and say it.
The black community.
All right, go to bed.
We get deep off into the woods. We have high-level DC wonky political conversation here. We are exactly the constituency that you want to speak to. We are high information voters. We are committed. We are very well informed on each of the micro issues. Why would you not speak to that specific audience? And most importantly, we are definitely on the fence. I mean, you want to talk to the people who may or may not vote for your competition? Well, that's us. You want to talk about not speaking to the choir? Well,
Trish,
that's us.
Trish, are you going live soon? Let me know.
That's us. So you really have to do some soul searching and examine yourself and find out why it is. You really have to do some soul searching and examine why it is that you would have a problem with that. Who is it you actually serve? Who is it that you actually serve here, and how long did you think you pull the wool over folks' eyes? Because just understand that's not going to get better. Even if you squeak out a victory, just understand it'll be short-lived.
In other words, let's just say you win the primary, which most likely she's going to win the primary. I mean, she's way ahead of James at this particular point. But like I said, from here to March, numbers can change. From here to March, numbers can change, and the polls ain't gonna be the same. But I guarantee you, one slip, and I don't think she's intelligent enough to not do the whole Barack Obama thing. It's not gonna happen. She's smart enough not to do that. But she should be smart enough to know that, again, the youth, and I can't say this enough, the youth are the future, and they are the ones who are going to shape and give balance, whether it's right or wrong or indifferent. They're going to start, it's going to start shaping up whether you want to or not. Middle-aged people, they made up their minds already. The elderly made up their mind. The elderly ain't going, the elderly are going to stick to their guns, whether you're Republican or Democrat, whichever the one. Unless you got that old dude who's like, I'm getting tired of both of them motherfuckers. The youth, again, for those who are just coming in, haven't you noticed, Trish, haven't you noticed in the House of Representatives, in Congress, that they're getting younger now? They're getting much younger now. I forgot who Jasmine endorsed. I forgot who the brother who Jasmine endorsed, but he's in his early 30s. That's the type of shit that I'm talking about. The youth will determine and decide our future. And if you want them to, and if you don't want them to do the whole trench coat mafia thing, you will put in a policy in place to guarantee them that they're going to get jobs. The right type of jobs with the right type of job with the right type of rate of pay. And you need to start bumping up that raise and pay, because in the court, you're going to have, listen, let me tell you something. This is how important black people are. This is how important black people are. We got cracker-ass crackers in Dallas, Texas, in Houston, Texas, in Fort Worth, Texas, and everywhere around. Okay? They touch you, they're touching us. That's how important it is. But you're going to have court education is very, very important, yes. But at this particular time, guess what? You don't need all that you don't need a prolonged education to get into a field of carpentry. You don't need this prolonged education to go into the field of plumbing. You need to get into the field. And guess what? Some of these people, it is what it is. Some of these Hispanics, or most of them, ain't going to teach you that. They're not going to have time. They're not going to have the time to teach it. Trust me, I know. Because they don't want to. They do not want to teach you because they feel that you don't want to learn. You're lazy. Why don't you go up the range like everybody else? And I'm not saying that they're all doing it. But you get the brother who absolutely owns his own shit, or learns the field on how to become a carpenter, a plumber, an electrician. I guarantee you he's going to open his own firm. He's going to open his own business. He's going to open his own shit. And they hate competition.
Because you're having
white folks hate competition. And just imagine all these brothers opening up their own shit, taking over. Well, not taking over, being competitive. Just being competitive. That's all we asked for. That's what Dr. Claude Anderson wanted. That's what Dr. Claude Anderson has been preaching. Now, do we want it? That's absolutely up to them.
Done the footwork. You have not done the footwork. We go over this every election cycle, year after year. Jasmine will be booed up with Joy Reid, who can't get anybody to the polls. Jasmine can't. You're talking to folks who ain't really gonna move nobody to the polls. And the places where it would really work, where you can actually get asked real questions, Joy Reid isn't asking anything that anybody wants to hear. Remember, we went over her interview with Kamala Harris. Folks, I would love to tell you that her interview with Kamala Harris didn't move the needle, but that would be generous. Oh, her interview certainly did move the needle. It moved the needle down. It was a negative. People want the real grassroots issues, talking about quote unquote affordability. That is not going to galvanize us. These broad sweeping generalities, that these catchphrases and these catch terms that they love passing around on Democrat and left wing political YouTube. That's not going to galvanize us. We are beyond the fake, vague pet terms. We're not going for that anymore. And I guess that's the reason you don't want to speak to us, because I want to know specifically, what do you mean by affordability? Exactly how you planning on making that happen? Because we've seen every con job in the book, and if you don't give the correct prescription, then we're out. And what they're really trying to do is prevent anybody from asking a question about the correct prescription, because they don't want to have to tell you, yeah, I ain't really trying to do that.
I think affordability would be not just to raise minimum wage, but I mean, lower some of these costs. That's going to take a lot of convincing. That's going to take a lot of work. And you think white supremacy wants that? No. You think these rich people want to pay taxes out the ass? No. I don't even know why what rich people are worried about. They don't have to worry about anything. They're rich. You're going to have people come after you, and you're going to have people, you can, it's like the Malcolms and the Martins of the world. They always have that infiltration. They always have that infiltration up the sleeve. They'll work with you. They'll smile at you. Hell, they'll go to lunch with you. They'll be your best friend for 10 years until they turn on that switch and they get radicalized. And the next thing you know, you out of there. Either you get paid to do, either they pay you off or you get killed. That's just it. So that's what he's mainly talking about. So you kind of did bite off more than you can chew, but then again, Senate is like, whatever. Being the president of the United States of America, oh, you're going to have to line up all your ducks in a fucking row. But this is just the Senate. Senate, you do a little bit more. House, you have a voice. Senate, you can make some changes. So you have to be careful. And if you want black people to be on your side, sis, you got to, I hate to say, you have to talk to the grassroots people. And you have to do what you say, what it is to say that you're going to do. Now, again, I will be that glue and I will help whenever I can, however I can. And I will still support you and I will still do what I have to do to put your name out there. And again, the people in I gotta send a couple of emails out. But the people in Texas, again, they have to make their decision. You got to go door to door, and start convincing people why they should support you. You have to go door to door, face to face, and none of this. Stop with the Trump shit. Again, stop with all that. Stop with all that madness. Stop with all the Trump shit. Fuck a Wesley Hunt. Stop with all the Trump shit. We good with Trump. Okay, he's a weirdo. He's a racist. He's prejudiced. He's all this and that and that and this and the third. We get it. We already know. What is your plan for Black people? And more importantly, what is your plan for Africans, period? Africa. Come on now. They hate you just as much. Bernie Sanders, he's 90 years old. His old ass would have endorsed you by now. Again. And I don't trust old Jeffries. Jeffries is a reminder of Obama. He hasn't supported you either. He has not supported you either. You know why they picked you? Because if it were anybody else, it'd be so boring. But because Jasmine has a voice, because Jasmine's voice out there, Jesus Christ. If Jasmine's voice was out there and that whole Marjorie Taylor Greene thing happened, you became their target. You definitely became their target. I gotta do a couple. I'll be right back. Give me about 2 minutes.
The folk who pay my bills and pat my pockets, yeah, they say we're not doing that. We are through and done with supporting quote unquote Black politicians who brag about not having a Black agenda while Donald Trump is bragging that he's bringing over here white Afrikaners. That's his new immigrant policy, is to bring over apartheid Afrikaners. And yet you're going to tell me there's an issue with us? So we're out of line, but Donald Trump and the Afrikaners, that's cool. He's legit for that. Okay, that's not hurting him. I want the Democrats to understand something. In case you didn't notice, this trick bag and this playbook is through. It's played out. It's flat. It's done. It's crushed. It's over. It didn't work for Kamala. It didn't work for Cory Booker, Cory Bush. Any other Corys you want to name? The electorate is hip to the game. You're not fooling anybody. The only folks voting for this garbage are all the old niggas. Oh, yes, I said that. Only the old niggas who are, quote, your parents' generation, who already looted the store, robbed the bank, shoplifted the entire grocery store, and now they're sitting back fat and old, just waiting for their peaceful death. Those are the only folks who think Trump bad is a legitimate reason they're not voting for anything. They're just voting for ego. They're not voting for economics and tangibles. They're too old and rickety and broke down to be able to earn anything. So they watch The Price is Right or whatever hell else is on during daytime television, and then Trump bad. And then they get in their wheelchairs and their rockers and their walkers and go shuffle their way down to the voting booth. They don't even know who or what's on the ballot. They're completely uninformed. All they know is Trump bad. Okay, but Trump bad does not mean Democrat good. Just because Trump bad does not mean Democrats good. Folks not liking the program here tonight, so obviously, like I say, I'm letting folks know it's an opportunity to explain a few things here. It's an opportunity to explain a few things here that we're not just saying stuff to be saying stuff. You see, when they go talk to the LGBT, when they go talk to the Jewish lobby, when they go talk to the Latinos, when they go talk to the Middle Easterners, they talk turkey, y'all. They talk turkey. They talk brass tacks.
All right, he's going off on a tangent, as he always does. Bottom line, with power comes great responsibility. Yeah, I don't follow him as much, and he talks in a tangent, but it is what it is. But he is right. He's right about a couple things, but I'm just going to say, learn lessons, or the lesson will eventually, the past will catch up to you. The past will definitely catch up to you. Jasmine Crockett, the ball is in your court. Well, not yet. You're still in the playoffs. And you're in the first round of the playoffs. March will be the signature all the way up to November. In that final round, when they choose you, if they choose you in the primaries, then you're going to go in the final round. And that is difficult. It's going to be very, very difficult. And all I want to say to you is this. And again, we still support you. We definitely still support you. Forget Kamala. This is all about the people. This is about you and the people that you're going to convince that you will do what you say you're going to do for the people, especially Black folks. And when we come up to you, when we wave our hands and say, hello, hi, right here. You said you want to raise minimum wage, right? If you look at the statistics and you see all the people who have been hired in at this particular job, at this job, you don't see a whole bunch of us. You don't see a whole bunch of us. You see a whole bunch of Hispanics. You see a whole bunch of whites. You see a bunch of Asians here and there. You might see a sprinkle of Black people. So see a little sprinkle. What up with that? Think you can help us out? Think you can help a sister out? Think you can help a brother out? Oh, they'll hire sisters. They'll hire sisters up the wazoo because Black men are a threat. Black men are a threat to whom you say? White men. Think about it. All these white folks are complaining that the Hispanics, the illegal immigrants, are taking your jobs. Like what? What are you talking about? They're taking they're taking the jobs, they're taking the land, they're taking our women, they're taking everything. Who was it? It wasn't Richard Spencer saying this, but it was somebody who said Jake Lang. Jake Lang, there used to be, it was 90% back in the 1900s. It was 85% black people, I'm sorry, I said that. There were 85% whites. And then you heard Nick Fuentes with his backwards gay ass say this. You know, a long time ago, there was like 90% of white folks and 11% of blacks and only 4% Hispanics. And fast forward into history, there's only 30% whites. We're losing. Black people, they just need to go to jail and stay in jail. I'm afraid of them. You're afraid of black people, but you ended up going to jail because you pushed a white woman who was knocking at your door down a flight of steps. Yikes. Mm, mm, mm. Um, and then you got the whole Miss Pearl thing, which I'm not gonna get into. Not gonna get into it all. Listen, stay away from these white folks. Stay away from these white women who think they know it all. Who just do the whole scare tactic thing. Ooh, back in the day. Back in the freaking day. It'd have been so exciting to see sisters just rile up and start whooping some white ass. I loved it back then. It's like it had the afro puff. It's just coming with they tape and start wailing on. Oh, the men didn't even get involved. The men didn't even get involved. But that's just taking that stuff. Karen, but in every situation there's a Karen. Just like the situation that happened at some mall when some not Islamis, but some basic black folks were trying to get some cinnamon rolls, and this woman came out the woodworks talking about, I'm a racist, and you're a bunch of niggers, and this and that and this and the third. It was like, and she started raising up middle fingers and just say, and did the whole DX thing. Like, wow. Yeah, Somalians. Yeah, you caught that. Fuck you, you're a bunch of niggers, and blah, blah, blah. Did the whole DX thing. So who the fuck you think you're talking to? Lily Gallus. Same person. I'm in my. They're trying to hold a nigger down. They're trying to hold a nigger down that did the whole blackface thing. So instead of just wasting words and breath, and again, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I mean, I'm not gonna tell you to, find out where these people are. I'm not gonna tell you about all that. Oh, my Bridget. Hey, how are you? I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna tell you define where this woman is. I'm not gonna tell you that because she might have something that's like, if you want to try it, please go ahead by all means. I don't want you to get in that situation. I don't want you to do that. I wouldn't want you to act bad with these people. No, it's a waste of energy unless they put their hands on you. If they put their hands on you, knock them straight the fuck out. That's the one thing you can do. But be big. But when they go low right with them. No, we ain't gonna do the whole high roll thing. We've been doing that for quite a long fucking time. A long fucking time. As a matter of fact, shouts out to my brother Illosophical. He raised a very interesting point, and he said we would have been so patient with white folks. We did things to impress white people. We were the ones impressing white people with our language, our dressing up in suits and ties and stuff like that, and trying to be presentable. We've done all that, and we still had stuff thrown in our faces, bricks thrown in our faces. We were the ones that were being polite. Not anymore. Not any fucking more. I gotta see what's up with my Australian brothers out there. Good eye, mate. I gotta see what's up with my African brothers out there in Australia. What's going on? What's going out there in Australia? What's going out there in Australia, mate? Aye. Good eye. It's crazy. It's freaking crazy. But I'm not gonna hold you anymore. Bridge is good. It's definitely good to see you. It's definitely good to see you. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be on chill mode for a little bit. I'm gonna definitely be on chill mode unless something else comes up. Then you'll see this face again. But until that time, I said what I needed to say. I definitely said what I needed to say. And definitely become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel. And definitely support Jasmine Crockett. So just go to change.org, change.org/swearing Jasmine Crockett for you. I said it. And let's hope we don't have to have these talks again. Remember, ball's in your court, per se.